Hi there, my name is Sarah Barron and I'm going to show you behind the scenes of my short stop motion animation film, You're Beautiful on the Inside. Let's take a look. The first decision I had to make was what type of stop motion I was going to use for my film. Out of the 5 you see here, I decided I would research 2 in more detail. This is silhouette animation and also cut-out paper animation. For silhouette animation, I decided to look at Lotte Reininger. Lotte is one of the most famous silhouette artists. Some of her most famous works include The Adventures of Prince Ahmed and also Cinderella. I love the amount of detail you can see in her work, it's unbelievable. I also loved watching the documentary found on YouTube. For paper cutout animation, I came across Patricia Smith on Instagram. Looking through her work and watching her behind the scenes videos really shows just how much effort goes into this art form. The way her work differs from Lotte's is that she is able to create a story that's more smoother in performance when Lotte's a bit stop-start. But then, I had an idea. Both art forms have pros and cons. Why not combine the 2 art styles together? The next thing I had to do was come up with my storyline. I like a storyline where I know the audience can connect with it. What I did was wrote these 3 ideas, gave them to people, asked them to read them and comment on which one they liked the best and which they connected to. The one that most people connected to the most was idea 3, so that's what I chose. After deciding on idea 3, I also took inspiration from Patricia Smith and decided I'm going to write a poem to go over the top of the performance. Designing a character was a challenge for me. I knew what I wanted, but I just couldn't get it right. Lots of my inspiration for my main character came from watching lots of Disney movies. Now that I had a storyline, a storyboard, and a main character, I was able to start designing. The first thing I had to do was hand draw everything on my iPad, then print it out on paper. This was important to do because I didn't want to waste the proper card material in case there was something wrong with the design or the size. As you can see here, this is me trying to figure out which size signpost is best suited for this scene. I did want it to look as realistically accurate as possible. This process was the same for the tree, the main character, the bird, and the bench. The process I followed for everything was hand draw it, transfer that drawing onto the card, cut it out with the scalpel, including all the miniature details, and then voila! You've got a beautiful silhouette. I thought the tree was going to be the hardest. I was really wrong. The main character's silhouette was the hardest thing I have ever done. It was all the individual body parts I had to cut out with the scalpel. Also, working on such a small scale, I had to figure out how to connect every individual body part. Also, to take into consideration what the performance of the puppet was going to be. Overall, I think I did a pretty good job. It's always good to have a checklist just in case. I also had the idea of using replacement animation in some scenes. This would be in the flower scene at the end, the leaf scene at the beginning, and also when the robin flies by. Here is a quick view of the leaf scene. Using replacement animation, I was able to create distance. The hardest scene to animate, though, was the walking sequence. I just found it so hard because when you messed up one tiny bit, it would ruin the whole walk sequence. In the end, I think I produced the best I could for the walk cycle scene. To make sure I got it as accurate as possible, I used video reference of myself. Stay. Overall, I'm really happy with the short stop motion animation film I was able to produce. However, there's going to be room for improvement, and I know the one thing that I need to improve on the most is my time management skills. I have a habit of underestimating just how long something is going to take me to produce. However, I know that with practice, I can improve this. Thank you for watching this behind the scenes and enjoy my short stop motion animation film, You're Beautiful on the Inside.